Hey, call Allah Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, which is all praises to the Most High Yahweh in the name of His only begotten Son, our deliverer, Yahweh Shai, and peace be upon the house of David, which is the elect that Yahweh Shai is coming back for, by Yahshua Dawadah, all right, to the men, women, and children that staying in the spirit to the best of their ability, day in and day out, right, that has the faith on Yahweh Shai. All right, this is just another, news update, prophecy, paying attention to the signs of the times. This article came out January 27th, which was on Saturday, I believe, on NBC News. And the headline reads, ex-Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, world is preparing for war. Okay, so now this guy, he was like basically what Putin is to Russia today. He was basically the president, the ex-president of the Soviet during the times of when I want to say the Cuban Missile Crisis was going on, the Cold War, and all that other stuff. But I wanted to bring this out, man, because this is the rhetoric, man. This is what everybody's talking about in the news. Okay, you can't hide from it. If you don't hear about these things, you must live underneath a rock, man. If you don't believe that this place, this world, all right, this age is heading for the third world war, then you really are blinded, man. And but us that's in this truth, this is what we do, man. This is what the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai put on us, is to do what? To be occupied in prophecy. All right. So I'm gonna read a couple of excerpts in this article, man, and just bring this information out, to the elect out there. So once again, it came out January 27, 2017. It says former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev warned Friday that it all looks as if the world is preparing for war. All right, and now, why is that happening? It's not just a big coincidence that everybody is every nation, that is a major player in the geopolitical realm, that they all are preparing for the same thing, was war. Why? Because like how the scripture says, the hearts or the minds of the kings is in the hands of the Lord, man. All right, and this is what He has prepared to happen, according to the prophecy, according to the end of this end of this age. This is how this age is going to go down. This is how Esau's society is going to be brought to naught. All right, when he's going to have these different kingdoms, fight against each other. All right, they're going to destroy America, completely destroy America. Yahweh Shai is going to come back with the host of angels. All right, redeem His elect from out of the land of the north, which is America, and throughout the four corners of the earth where they are scattered. And Yahweh Shai is going to destroy the rest of these armies. All right, in Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of Jehoshaphat, the valley of decisions. Okay, and the Jacob is going to be on top as the reigning anarchy, man. Okay, but this right here, okay, them preparing for war is all according to the prophecies, all according to the plans of the Heavenly Father. All right, so it says Gorbachev, who was head of the socialist state when it dissolved in 1991, wrote the comments in an opinion piece for Time magazine. More troops, tanks, and armored personnel carriers are being brought to Europe, the 85-year-old wrote. NATO and Russian forces and weapons that used to be deployed at a distance are now placed closer to each other, as if to shoot point blank. The 1990 Nobel Peace Prize winner added, politicians and military leaders sound increasingly belligerent, and defense doctrines are more dangerous. Commentators and TV personalities are joining the bellicose chorus. All right, because like I said, man, that's all you see on the news now. All right, it's about breaking news, war, breaking news. Another country, tested a nuclear weapon. America's moving more troops next to the Russian border. All right, China, Philippines. Their Philippines is coming together with Russia. Against America. China is doing more war games. All right, over there in the South China Sea. All right, these are the things that are being talked about, man. This is what is the talk right now. All right, war. Okay, now the scripture says in in Ecclesiastes 3 and 8. You know, there's a time of war and there's a time of peace. All right, we're in a time of war. All right, it says it all looks as if the world is preparing for war. All right, world war. It says thousands of U.S. troops have been sent to Eastern Europe in recent weeks, the largest deployment of its kind since the Cold War. Okay, and we're already right now in a Cold War reloaded, Cold War II. All right, and it's about to turn real hot. Okay, nuclear hot soon, man. Okay, but it says what, that this is what is happening, man. That the U.S. troops are being sent to Eastern Europe, which is right on the borders of what, Russia. It says Gorbachev oversaw an agreement with the U.S. to reduce their nuclear arsenals. President Donald Trump, however, has suggested he could bolster the number of such weapons at his disposal, something that would reverse decades of American policy. Okay, right there. Why? Because with the scripture first, man, this is Revelations 11 and 14. It says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Okay, the third woe representing destruction. Okay, third woe, yeah, World War I, World War II, and World War III. This World War III is coming quickly. You know, so it's only been about 70 years since, you know, the end of World War II. All right, that's what, about, you know, a generation, give or take a couple years. All right, so within the next generation, we're about to be at this last war, man. The war to end all wars, the war of Armageddon, man. Okay, because this war, it ain't gonna be like, you know, World War II, where you only have one nuclear weapon went off in the form of the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This one right here is going to be multiple nuclear warheads that's going to go off, and the majority of them are going to be headed straight for America. All right, straight for the daughter of Babylon. All right, that's what this war is going to come to, because, you know, America ain't the only superpower anymore. It ain't the only place that got nuclear warheads. In fact, according to this graph, all right, it says all the numbers are the maximum amount, approximate estimate. All right, it says nuclear arsenal by countries. The exact number of nuclear weapons in each country is a national secret. Thus, estimates are based on historical records and occasional leaks. So, right here, boom, you have the Russian Federation says total inventory, which is an estimate 7,300 nuclear warheads. Okay, which that doesn't include, you know, the conventional warheads. Okay, the regular bombs that these airplanes carry, or, you know, that these different militarized vehicles carry. All right, these are just, you know, those big nuclear warheads. Okay, and here you got America 6,970. So Russia even got more nuclear warheads, according to this graph, than America. Okay, you got China, you got India, Pakistan, what's that, France, United Kingdom, you know, and you got Iran too. They trying to act like Iran don't got no nuclear warheads, but Iran has nuclear warheads too, man. All right, and also North Korea over there. So, you know, and the majority of these countries gonna be shooting all their missiles right at America, man. This place is gonna be utterly wasted. Okay, utterly destroyed. All right, and you can see right here, man, based on this graph too, America ain't even big, man. You know, in America, you see like maps or globes, they try to seem like America is like such a big country. America ain't shit. All right, America is small, all right, compared to the rest of the world, man. All right, but I'm gonna keep reading on this. It says Trump has said he would like to expand America's nuclear weapons, telling MSNBC's Morning Joe in December, let it be an arms race. Okay, so there you go, man. This is the talk. This is what is in the minds. The Lord has put in the minds of these devils, man, these heathens, is to gather up. All right, to actually, I get to skip the scripture, man. Let the scripture speak. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. All right, so this is what is being prepared right now. War. Every time you turn on the news, all right, and I'm talking about, you know, real news, Russia Today, all right, BBC, alternative media news, all right, and it's even coming so much talk about it that when you turn on regular news now, all right, you turn on Fox, you turn on CNBC, All right, CNN, this is what they're talking about too. All right, why? Because this is being proclaimed among the Gentiles. All right, this is what's being talked about. A war. All right, all these nuclear talks. All right, it says, verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. Okay, so because America is not just the only superpower anymore. All these other countries now are becoming strong, militarized countries, man. All right, they're becoming dangerous countries, so to speak, because their weapons are being more technologically advanced now. All right, it says this proposed reversal of decades of U.S. policy was in part what moved a group of scientists Thursday to move the metaphorical doomsday clock to 2 minutes and 30 seconds before midnight. Okay, that doomsday clock, they say basically, if the closer it gets to midnight, the closest it's going to be basically a nuclear holocaust. All right, it says the time that represents when a catastrophic nuclear event can annihilate the earth. All right, and pursuant to Ecclesiastes 1 and 4, the earth will not be annihilated, man. Okay, because that's what these devils think, that if there's a nuclear war, then all humanity is going to be destroyed, because they believe that if they don't reign, nobody's going to reign. All right, if they're not on top, nobody's going to be on top. But that's not the case, man. The scripture says that Esau is the end of this world or age, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followed it. All right, so it says Trump has signaled he may seek a rapprochement with his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin, including lifting sanctions imposed by Barack Obama over Moscow's annexation of Crimea. So what he's over here thinking that basically he's talking as if they're going to Russia and America, Vladimir Putin and Trump can become closer, have closer relations. Okay, lifting sanctions, but that's not according to prophecy, man. All right. What's going to happen, even if it might seem as if they are becoming closer to one another, all right, that Russian ties and American ties are becoming closer, the end result is Russia America being destroyed by Russia along with other countries. All right, so I'm gonna get this scripture right here. This is Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 1. It says, and the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, which is where Russia is at today. All right, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith Yahweh, power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. All right, so even if Putin and Donald Trump seeing that they all being buddy, that's going to turn around real quick. Why? Because the Lord's going to put them hooks into the jaws, all right, of that bear to turn them back to its old, form, turn them back to that old Soviet Union, being a adversary to America, okay, and actually going to war with America, okay. It says, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army and horses and horsemen, and all them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. Okay, so this is representing all their their tanks, all right, their missiles, their fighter jets, their submarines, their warships, all this, man. This is why over there in Russia, they pride themselves on their military might, man. All right, that's all they do over there is try to find ways to advance their technology, their military technology. Okay, it says Persia, which is the modern day Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. And what's spiritual and prophetic about that? Donald Trump just signed that executive legislative banning people from Iran and Libya from coming to America. All right, if you look up that list, you got Iran, Iraq, I believe it's Iraq, Iran, Libya, I want to say Sudan, all right, some other places, but Persia or Iran and Libya was on that list too, man. So and they're actually allies with Russia, so that's why they're going to be with them. Okay, it says Gomer and all of his bands, the house of Togarmah, of the north quarters and all of his bands and many people with thee. Verse 7. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all the company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay, so Russia and its allies are going to do what? They're preparing themselves, militarizing themselves to go to war. Okay, with who? With America. All right, with the daughter of Babylon. So go back here. It says Trump has also called NATO obsolete. Now, NATO is supposed to be America's allies. America is a part of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. All right, but this guy Trump is calling them obsolete, which goes directly with the prophecy of the beast hating the whore in Revelations. I want to say it's the 17th chapter or the 12th chapter. Okay, I'm not going to get it, but it says that the beast, because NATO is the beast, shall hate the whore, and Trump is calling the beast obsolete. So guess what? That's going to infuriate the nations that are comprised of the beast, man. All right, all the nations right here, all these members in here, they're going to end up hating America, man. You're going to have certain of these countries is going to actually shoot missiles at America too, man, because here it is. You got the president, the commander-in-chief of the daughter of Babylon over America, calling this organization obsolete. You know why he called them that? It's because he's saying that America is basically holding them up, and they're not really helping America, and America is doing too much for them, and they're not, they're basically not beneficial to the American economics, all right, American economy. So what? Once again, that's going to end up having, the beast hating the whore, and America then gave plenty of these countries that's in this organization, weapons, man. America supplied them with militarized weapons, nuclear weapons. So those weapons that America gave them, they're going to use it on America too. All right. It says, and Russian media said he and Putin were expected to speak on the phone Saturday, which they did. It says some experts fear that if Trump undermines NATO and cozies up to Russia, Putin may be emboldened to interfere in other former Soviet countries. All right, so you gotta have these Trump. What he's doing is angering these nations that's in the NATO, and at the same time, Russia still sees America as its enemy, man, because them Soviets ain't forget what America did to them, breaking up the Soviet Union back in World War II, man. They didn't forget about that. So it says, while states' budgets are struggling to fund people's essential social needs, military spending is growing. Now, we just read that over here. It says, verse 10 in Joel, the 3rd chapter, says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I am strong. So instead of, plowshares and pruning hooks are tools for gardening, agriculture, instead of, caring about people's essential social needs like food, water, okay, clothing, things that people actually need to survive, they're what? They're boosting up their military spending, okay? It says money is easily found for sophisticated weapons whose destructive power is comparable to that of a weapon of mass destruction. For submarines whose single salvo is capable of devastating half a continent. For missile defense systems that undermine strategic stability. Okay, so this is what money is being spent on now. All right, it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together around about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. Let the heathen be wakened and come into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Okay, the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh Shaphat, the valley of judgment. Okay, that's where all these countries are going to, bring their armies to fight this great fight, man. All right, it says, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen around about. All right, all these nations that are preparing for war, as this article was saying. That's basically what it's all about, man. Because the Lord is putting them all together for that great final fight, man, to destroy America. Then Yahweh's going to send back Yahweh and his military, the Lord of hosts. He's going to send them back to destroy all these other armies, man. It says Gorbachev urged the United Nations Security Council to adopt a resolution stating that nuclear war is unacceptable and must never be fought, and said the initiative to sign it should come from Trump and Putin. All right, which, you know, this is beautiful, man, because these two people represent the two countries that are spoken about in the Bible that are going to basically kick off this World War III, man. All right, going to be the major players, I should say, of this World War III, Russia and America. Okay, and here you got, you know, this quote from Albert Einstein, and he was one of the men that were used, you know, that these elites used to try to come up with he's one of the Smiths, as the scriptures calls them. I've created the Smith to create the weapons, basically, to the waster to destroy. He was one of the men, okay, that split the atom to make a nuclear weapons. And he said this quote. He says, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought." All right, why? Because he knew that World War III was going to happen, man. All right, he knew that the weapons of World War III were going to be devastation. All right, weapons of mass destruction. And he says, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Why is he saying that? Because he's saying that World War III is going to be such a nuclear, such a great destruction that it was going to bomb everybody back to the Stone Age, which it's what he's saying is basically true, so to speak, because not about World War IV, because there's not going to be no more World War after World War III, but these other nations ain't going to have no type of weapons of mass destructions after World War III, man, because Yahweh Shai is going to come back and destroy all these other armies. So they ain't going to have no weapons of mass destruction after this World War III, okay? After World War III, the scripture says that what? The whole earth is going to be at peace. Why? Because Yahweh Shai and his army is going to be the only is going to be the only nation, all right? Israel is going to be the true Israelites, all right? Going to be the only nation with any type of power, all right? So get this scripture right here. This is Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 8. It says, "Therefore wait ye upon me, saith Yahweh, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them my indignation, even all my fierce anger. For all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy." Okay, and that's what, man, during this third world's war, man. This is what the Lord has. This is his determination. He's determined to gather all these nations to do what? To have them prepared, like I said right here, have them prepared to go to war, World War III, with nuclear weapons, so that all these kingdoms gets poured upon his indignation, with America, okay, Babylon getting that most indignation of being utterly destroyed. All right, this is next scripture, Revelation chapter 16 verse 16. It says, "And he gathered them together in a place called in the Hebrew tongue Armageddon," okay, or Harmageddon, all right, which is what? The valley or the hill or the mountain of troops, okay, which we talked about in Joel, okay, the valley of Jehoshaphat. This is what all these nations are gathering together for, man. This is why this article and articles like this are being pushed out more and more and more, man, because this is what is coming to pass. Okay, this is where we're at on the Lord's timeline, so to speak. We at the day of judgment, the day of Armageddon, the day of the Lord's anger, man. All right, the day of the Lord, as the scriptures talks about. All right, so you know, with that, hopefully this was edifying to the elect. Okay, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Keep paying attention to the signs of the times, man, because we're almost at the end of this place, man. We're almost at the end of our captivity and the salvation of the elect. All right, Shalom.
No more swords, no more weapons, no more systems, no more superpowers.
No more superpowers, man. After this third world war, there's only one superpower. Is what? The nation of Israel.
So much faith in that. Tools, machines.
See? He said so much faith in their tools. Why? Because that's what he was blessed with. He was blessed with the sword. Okay? He was blessed with this, man. And the scripture says that what? if you live by the sword, you're going to die by the sword, man. And he's also, you know, going to be taken in derision with his own devices. Okay, these are the swords of Esau, and he have this is the only faith that he has. He doesn't have faith in the Lord, because the Lord is not for him. All right, he doesn't believe in actually they do believe in a higher power, and they believe that they're going to be able to overtake the higher power, man. But what? The Lord is going to destroy them with their own destruction, man, with their own weapons, man.
You can fire your arrows from the Tower of Babel, but you can never strike gold!
Can't strike your higher, you devils, man. Y'all going down. All right? Shalom.